I met a gypsy.
One of the themes that came out was like, and I'll ask you this question. What is the hardest thing for an athlete in their professional career from start to end as an athlete? What is the hardest thing for them to grasp?
Retirement.
Exactly. The R word. And you get men and women that get injured, and it's almost like a get out of jail free card. It's like, oh, what could have been, like they got injured, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got someone who is aging out and they're so focused in their silo, and that's what makes them great, but they don't have any other skills. And it's such a mind fuck because the fame and the ego and everything gets wrapped up in it. And the funny thing is, like, I do get fired from time to time. I mean, thankfully everyone's come back. But like I had this big NFL guy. He was the biggest, baddest dude in his sport. And he had horrible anxiety and he would throw up before every game, but didn't want anyone to know. And so he was in town and I met him in his hotel in LA. Oh, Dr. Christian, like, let's take a photo, like put it on your Instagram. Now I'll give you a boost. I'm like, no, I don't need you to help me out. I mean, granted, yeah, it'd be great, but like, no, that's unethical. Like, I'm not going to do that. And he was like mortified. He couldn't get it. I was just like, dude, does everyone tell you yes? And he was like, yeah, I guess they do. I'm like, well, I'm going to be the one person in your life and your future girlfriend and wife that's going to tell you no. So ask me again if I'm going to take a photo with you. And he goes, do you want to take a selfie with me? I said, fuck no.
That's awesome.
And he hollered and like gave me a hug and started crying. He's like, you're so real. It's like, dude.
But that is a real thing, right? Like you, especially like I've got some friends going through the retirement thing at the moment, and I don't think they realized how hard it was going to be. And they're like fucking pretty awesome people, so it's not like I wouldn't look at them and like I'm good friends with them. I'm not like, I'd be like, you've got massive holes, bro, like in your light, like you don't, it's not like they're a super flawed individual, but I just don't think that they had perspective on like what it would actually mean to step away from this thing that they've literally invested their entire life into doing. And you can, you get a lot of people around you that will just tell you what you want to hear. Like the power dynamic is pretty asymmetrical in that sense. And you naturally kind of end up in those situations. And then just like the identity and, like an athlete, I think it's one of the reasons why athletes love being athletes is you just have built-in purpose every day. Like every day that you wake up as an athlete, it's pretty easy to find something to do that you can derive meaning from because it's taken you one step closer to whatever the next race, the next championship, the next contract, the next, like very, very inbuilt purpose. And I just don't think athletes kind of take stock of that in the moment, maybe even appreciate it in the moment, but then also know that that's going to be a thing they're going to have to deal with when it all burns down.
Yeah. And it's, like the NFL, the players at National Football League, the players call it not for long. And when you look at motocross, and especially this year when I was talking to Beaker about, I'm like, have you seen this many injuries? Like, no. It's like, and that's the thing with motocross. It's so gnarly. It's like, I'll give you some perspective. So with MMA, UFC, NFL, Major League Baseball, soccer, golf, you name it, all these different sports that I work with, there's two sports that every athlete identifies as like the gnarliest, like from a physical standpoint. Number one is motocross. Number two, believe it or not, is surfing because of the water element. People are scared of drowning. I mean, I know that's anecdotal information, but that's like coming from some top men and women.
Yeah.
And like, look at how many people got lit up this year. And then it's like, then you got the really catastrophic injuries like Jerry Robin this year. And like, you had Jimmy Button on and his whole story. And like, I give Anita and Jimmy so much credit for having that Road to Recovery Foundation, because it can happen in a nanosecond. And it's like, it's literally the love of the game. And those riders are willing to take that risk, and they're acclimated. They've been doing it since they were kids. But it's like, it's foolish to think like there's not like a risk. I don't want them to focus on it too much, but I will say this: motocross is some of the gnarliest athletes on the planet, hands down. Not just my own opinion, but from, some
Other
really other athletes.
Yeah. What's the balance there? Like, how is that danger and risk element even come up with guys in practice?
Well, it's interesting because practice is more controlled.
I mean, in like therapy practice.
Oh, therapy practice.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I said, that you talk about mastery in their craft. Like, they're good at it.
Yeah.
They understand the risk. They don't think it's going to happen
to them.
Yeah. And that's just, I guess that is something that you kind of have to have, because if you were focused so much on the alternative, which is very real and very scary, I don't think anyone would race.
Yeah. Yeah. That must be a very hard line to walk. Like, I'm assuming it's probably not even something that comes up that much.
No, it doesn't come up. It doesn't come up until they're injured.
Yeah.
I mean, go back to Cole Davies. Like, he was in qualies and just got pancaked.
Yeah.
Like, that was fucking gnarly.
So bad.
It was so crazy.
So bad.
And some people, they can learn how to turn that off, but it's like you go into the realm of like PTSD type stuff. And coming back from injury for any athlete is a process. And I walk the line very, very gently with them, because it's very strange. We've got short-term memory and long-term memory. And then we've got our little trauma box file in the back of our brain. And how it works is those trauma files get stored. And our brain, unbeknownst to us, it could be a sight, a sound, a smell, a similar environment where a trauma occurred. And it doesn't matter if it's minor or major. Trauma's trauma. And if that gets triggered, it floors people and makes them very apprehensive about getting back in the ring, getting back on the bike, getting back, putting on the pads, whatever. And that's one of those things that people really, that's where I think psychology really shines with athletes, is to be able to like sit there and process that stuff. Because, out of the 8 consistent riders that I work with, I think throughout this year, there were like 2 of them racing out of the 8 because all of them were injured.
Yeah.
And, they came back and they had their certain race leading up to it. And I couldn't tell them like, dude, you're not ready. Like, I'm feeling good and this, that, and the other. Like, I'm ready. And then they get out there and it's like the cortisol kicks in, the adrenaline, and then they're thinking about like, well, I'm not hitting my line here. And they're not. That's the difference between elite and the flow state, what everyone talks about, and everyone else. It's like, can you perform and do it just by feel, by braille, because you've mastered it. You don't have to think about it. And coming back from injury, all these thoughts start to creep in, and it's wild.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.